Imagine a land that breathes, that lives, and that, slowly, inevitably, is waking from a sleep thousands of years long. Beneath your feet right now, billions of tons of frozen gas lie hidden. A time bomb planted by nature itself. And that bomb is already going off. Enormous craters, perfectly circular like portals into another world, are appearing out of nowhere. Pilots spot them by chance, flying over the endless tundra. They look down and cannot believe their eyes. Down there, darkness, absolute, bottomless, as if the earth opened its jaws and swallowed itself whole. The local people, the Nenets and Kanti, say they knew about this long ago. Their ancestors called these places the gates to the lower world. The local shamans warned, when the earth begins to swallow itself, it is a sign of the Great Awakening. Today, the full truth about the Siberian craters, a phenomenon that baffles scientists across the entire world. Welcome to a story that is happening right now. There are already dozens of them, maybe hundreds, and every year there are more. The earth is literally bursting open like an infected wound. This is not happening in one place. It is happening across all of Siberia, from Yamal to Taimyr, from the shores of the Kara Sea to the depths of Yakutia. Scientists fly in, they measure, they take samples, and they come back with the same answer, one that frightens even them. "We did not expect this to happen so fast," one of them will say. And in those words, there is not just science, there is fear. Because what they discovered inside changes everything we thought we knew about our planet. Welcome to one of the greatest mysteries of the modern age. The story you are about to hear is real, every word, and it has only just begun. It all started in July of 2014, an ordinary day on the Yamal Peninsula, the northernmost inhabited region on Earth. A helicopter crew was flying a routine patrol route over gas fields. No one expected what they would see next. At first, they thought it was a cloud shadow, then a lake, but it was neither. Before them gaped an enormous crater, perfectly circular, over 30 meters across, descending into the ground to an unknown depth. The walls were covered in ice. Around it were scattered massive boulders of earth and stone, as if a bomb had exploded from within. The crater was named B1, Yamal number 1. But this was only the beginning. Others would follow, and each would be more mysterious than the last. When the first scientists rappelled inside, they discovered something astonishing. The walls were perfectly smooth, as if machined by a tool. In the walls, the layers were unmistakable, millennia of Earth's history, frozen in time, and suddenly laid bare. The instruments went off the charts. Methane concentration inside was hundreds of times above normal. A single spark, and everything would have gone up in flames. To understand the scale, if you stood at the edge of this hole and shouted, you would not hear an echo. The depth swallowed everything. Geologists began reconstructing what had happened. The picture that emerged was simultaneously breathtaking and terrifying. For years beneath the tundra surface, gas had been accumulating. Methane released by decomposing organic matter in thawing permafrost. The gas was forming giant bubbles directly beneath the ground. The earth was swelling like an enormous abscess ready to burst. And then, an explosion. Sharp as a cannon shot, the earth literally fired upward, hurling thousands of tons of soil and ice into the sky. It all happened in seconds. Where yesterday there was flat tundra, now gaped an abyss as deep as a 10-story building. To understand why this is happening, we need to look deeper, literally, into the very substance of what Siberian ground is made of. Permafrost is not simply frozen earth. It is nature's refrigerator, preserving the remains of living creatures up to 1 million years old. Mammoths, woolly rhinoceroses, ancient viruses, all of it lies there, perfectly preserved. A frozen archive of all life on this planet. Permafrost covers nearly a quarter of all land in the northern hemisphere, an area comparable to Africa and Europe combined. But now it is thawing, faster than in any other period over the last 10,000 years, and the consequences are unpredictable. When permafrost thaws, the ancient organic matter, those very mammoths and plants, begins to decompose and releases methane, a gas that changes the planet's climate. Methane is a greenhouse giant. Over a 100-year timescale, it is 84 times more potent than carbon dioxide in its effect on climate. In Siberia, there are already lakes that literally bubble with methane. If you hold a match to the surface, blue flame erupts. Local people call them the burning lakes. Thousands of years ago, they were considered entrances to underground fire. Now scientists understand they were right in their own way. When methane accumulates beneath a layer of permafrost, It searches for an exit. Pressure builds. The Earth deforms. And at some point, blows the lid off. Satellite images show, before an explosion, a characteristic hill appears on the surface. A bulge. Then silence. And then, an explosion. So powerful that chunks of Earth fly hundreds of meters in all directions. Gas erupts as a column of fire into the sky. Witnesses speak of fire columns visible from dozens of kilometers away. In the night, they look like explosions. And that is not an exaggeration. The power of the gas release is comparable to a small industrial explosion. This has been documented. This has been measured. This is happening. If the first crater in 2014 was treated as a unique anomaly, what happened afterward left no room to speak of coincidence. 2015, 3 more craters. 2017, 7. 2020, already dozens. The Earth was exploding again and again, as if something was awakening from within. Some craters over time fill with water, becoming lakes. From satellite, they look like dark eyes staring up at the sky. Researchers have counted. In the Yamal region alone, there are more than 7,000 such lakes, and many of them have crater origins. When scientists lowered an underwater drone into one of those lakes, they found a depth of over 50 meters, and the bottom was carpeted with methane hydrates. Methane hydrates are frozen gas under pressure. When they warm, they release methane in enormous quantities. This is called a chain reaction. More heat, more thawing, more methane, more heat. The circle closes, and breaking it is nearly impossible. This is why climate scientists speak of a point of no return, a moment after which global warming can no longer be stopped by any human effort. And the Siberian craters are one of the key indicators of how close we are to that point. The Earth is literally signaling to us. But long before scientists measured the first crater, legends about these places already existed. Ancient, dark, and strikingly accurate. The Nenets, the indigenous people of the Yamal Peninsula, believe the world is divided into 3 levels: upper, middle, and lower, and that between them are passageways, where the Earth breathed and spoke, where strange sounds came from underground. These places were avoided, and no one was allowed to graze reindeer there. The shamans claimed they could hear the spirits of the lower world through these places. They knew, they warned, but no one listened. Today, old Nenets people who see the craters are not surprised. They say simply, "We knew. We were warned. This is the Earth opening its insides." Archaeologists found in Siberia rock carvings more than 3,000 years old. On them, perfectly circular holes with radiating lines, exactly as a crater looks from above. Coincidence? Or did ancient people witness the same phenomenon and recorded it as a warning for those who would come after? In Yakut legends, there is a spirit living in the depths of the Earth. Once every few hundred years, it turns in its sleep, and the Earth trembles and cracks. The elders said, "When you hear thunder from underground, run, because then the Earth shows no mercy to those standing above it." Near several craters, scientists found traces of ancient human camps, which apparently were intentionally positioned close to these breathing places. Perhaps for them, these places were sacred, portals to something else, where the earthly meets what cannot be seen or measured. But if legends are poetry, then eyewitnesses are facts, and what they describe sounds like the end of the world. One reindeer herder was 5 kilometers from the site of an explosion when the sky suddenly turned orange. "I thought an airplane had fallen," he said. "Then the ground shook. I heard thunder, but not from the sky. From below, from underground." The shock wave knocked him off his feet at a distance of 3 kilometers. His reindeer scattered in panic. The smell of gas lingered long after. In the morning, he came closer. Where yesterday he had grazed his herd, now gaped a black abyss, as if the Earth had swallowed a piece of itself. In 2020, a pilot was flying over the Gidon Peninsula when he noticed something strange below. The crater was still fresh. The walls were steaming, gas swirling inside. By his estimation, the explosion had occurred no more than a day before. The edges were sharp, not yet crumbling, he recalled. The Earth was bent outward, as if something had exploded from the inside. Bent outward, that is the key detail. The explosion always travels from inside the Earth, outward, like a cork from a bottle of champagne. Only in this case, the bottle is a multi-meter layer of permafrost, and the champagne, thousands of tons of methane under enormous pressure. The pressure in underground cavities reaches several atmospheres. For comparison, a car tire holds about 2 atmospheres. Underground, many times more. In 2020, an international expedition decided to do what seemed impossible: descend to the bottom of one of the largest known craters. Scientists from Russia and Norway put on oxygen masks. The methane concentration inside made the air dangerous to breathe. When they reached the first platform at 20 meters depth, they looked up and saw a perfect circle of sky above them, like looking at the moon from the bottom of a well. The crater walls turned out to be a true book of the planet's history. Every layer, a millennium. Dark bands, warming periods. White bands, ice ages. One of the scientists said, "It is like reading the Earth's diary, page by page, 1,000 years per centimeter." At the bottom they found water. Dark, almost black. Temperature below 0 Celsius, but unfrozen due to high salt and gas content. From the bottom, gas bubbles rose continuously. In the water they found bacteria that had never before been encountered by science. Bacteria that live in methane, organisms that had not seen light for millions of years, creatures from another time, sealed in permafrost. "We found living organisms that were there while mammoths walked above them," said one of the microbiologists. And that is not a metaphor. Resurrection. The return to life of what was considered dead forever. These craters are not just holes in the ground. They are time portals. But the most astonishing discovery of the expedition was the depth. The true depth of the craters turned out to be far greater than assumed. What is visible from the surface is only the tip. Below the crater descend cavities, caverns, tunnels, some to a depth of over 50 meters. These cavities are connected by underground channels. This is part of an enormous underground system. The Earth is like a sponge, full of gas. By 2023, scientists reached a conclusion that shook the climatological world. The Siberian craters are not a local problem. This is a global catastrophe in slow motion. The level of methane in Earth's atmosphere is rising faster than at any point in the history of observation. And Siberia is one of its main sources. Satellites are detecting thermal anomalies over western Siberia. Enormous methane plumes rising into the atmosphere. Invisible, but lethal. Every crater is an open valve into a reservoir accumulated over millions of years. And we cannot close it. We cannot stop the explosions. In 2022, a group of scientists from 20 countries published a report. If the current rate of permafrost thawing continues, by 2010, the volume of methane emissions will double. This is a self-reinforcing climate collapse, without any effort from humanity, simply because the flywheel is already spinning. Rising sea levels, disappearing ecosystems, extinction of species, all of it. The consequence of one chain reaction, beginning in the Siberian tundra. And yet, scientists work there, every day, in conditions of extreme cold and isolation, because they understand this matters more than anything else. Young researchers spend 3 months a year in the tundra. Every new crater is a message, they say. The Earth is talking to us. And that message is growing louder. Every year, every new explosion, every crater appearing where yesterday there was flat ground. Scientists call this climate feedback loops, when one change causes another, which amplifies the first, the falling of dominoes. The Arctic is warming 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. This is not coincidence and not measurement error. This is physics, and physics is merciless. In 1980, summer Arctic sea ice covered around 8 million square kilometers. Today, less than 4. Half disappeared in a single generation. When the white ice disappears, the mirror reflecting sunlight disappears with it. The dark ocean absorbs heat and warms even faster. Every such loop makes stopping the warming more and more difficult. It is not what is happening that frightens us. It is the speed. The most optimistic scientific scenario assumes if we stop all emissions right now, temperatures will continue to rise for another 100 years, by inertia. This means the world our children will inherit will be fundamentally different, regardless of what we do. The only question is, how different? But in 2023, something new occurred. Something scientists did not expect and cannot yet fully explain. Russian and American satellites detected enormous underground cavities beneath the surface of Yamal, the size of a small city. Some of them are up to 1 kilometer in diameter, located at depths of 20 to 100 meters, and filled with gas under pressure. It is as if giant balloons are hidden beneath our feet, ready to burst at any moment, explained one geophysicist. The calculations show, if one of these cavities explodes, the power of the blast will be comparable to a small-yield nuclear device. This is not fiction. This is physics, mathematics, and geology. Numbers that scientists do not want to publish, but which exist. Some of the data about these underground cavities is still classified by both the Russian and American governments. The official reason? To prevent panic. But there is another reason. Beneath the Yamal craters lie the world's largest reserves of natural gas. Their economic value, trillions of dollars. The world's largest energy corporations are operating here. They know the risks. The question is what they are doing with that knowledge. But let us return to the very heart of it. to what is truly hidden beneath this ground. Because the story gets even more remarkable. In 2023, French scientists published a sensational discovery. In one of the craters, they found a virus 48,000 years old, alive, 48,000 years in deep freeze, and it had retained the ability to infect living cells. Permafrost preserves things we are not prepared to encounter. Scientists are already warning. As permafrost thaws, pathogens may be revived against which modern humanity has no immunity. None whatsoever. In 2016, an anthrax outbreak on Yamal killed a child and thousands of reindeer. The cause? The thawing of an infected animal's body that had lain in permafrost for 75 years. 75 years is nothing to permafrost. Inside it lie creatures that died 1 million years ago, and the viruses that killed them. We are standing on the threshold, not in a metaphorical sense, literally. The ground beneath us is changing, faster than we can comprehend. The Siberian craters are not just a geological anomaly. They are a symptom, a temperature signal. The Earth is sending us a message written in explosions. An old Nenets man once told a young scientist who had come to interview him, "You came here to study our land, but the land has already studied you." There is something unbearably beautiful and unbearably terrifying about these holes. They draw you in, as if the Earth wants to show you something. Perhaps that is the message. Look down, humanity. Look at what is happening to your home. The planet lived 4.5 billion years before us. It survived meteorites, ice ages, mass extinctions. It will survive us too. The question is not whether the planet will survive. The question is whether we will, and the craters of Siberia remind us. The answer depends on us. These children will grow up in a world where explosions of the ground beneath their feet are a normal occurrence, if we change nothing. But scientists do not give up. They count, they measure, they warn, again and again, because they know. As long as someone is listening, there is hope. The Siberian craters have revealed something important. Our planet is alive. It responds to what we do to it, and that response is growing louder. The hollow earth is not the end. It is a warning. It is a chance to stop, to look down, and to finally hear what the earth has been trying to tell us. Because the earth is speaking to us, in its own language, the language of explosions, craters, and methane. And it is time to learn to understand it. Down there, in the depths of these holes, lie answers to questions we have not yet thought to ask. Secrets millions of years old. The earth is speaking. The question is, are we listening? Thank you for watching. If this story made you think, share it. Let the earth speak through each of us.